3 years. 3 years on YouTube, and all I've got to show for it is this t-shirt and this coffee mug. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, the channel where I use my game to help your game. As I said, it's been 3 years to the day, March the 21st, as I released this video, and I started this on March the 21st, 3 years ago today. Man, 3 years has gone by so fast, and it's been a lot of fun, and I hope at least I've got a whole lot more of those good years left in front of me. And I wanted to take a trip down memory lane today for the special 3-year anniversary. I want to look back at where it all started, how it's progressed, see how the thumbnails have improved, the video quality has improved, my sound quality has definitely improved, and look back at some of those embarrassing moments from the beginning, but also go over the evolution of the channel, talk about some of the methods that I've used, some of the things that I've reviewed, and at the end I'm going to summarize everything that I feel that I've learned. And that is basically why the thumbnail says everything, is because I want to summarize everything that I've learned over the last 3 years into a couple of concise thoughts moving forward. So let's get started. Now, in the very beginning of the channel, I knew that I wanted to review different methods. I knew that I wanted to review drills and products. I know that I wanted to review all of these from an above average or an average golfer's perspective, because there are so few of those channels out there where they really do good in-depth reviews of things. You get tons of pros and high-level players and teachers and instructors. You get all of that stuff. And on YouTube, you get a lot of content from what I would call YouTube professionals, where they have somebody to operate the camera, somebody to do the sound, somebody's handling all of the social media, the thumbnails, the editing process. I do everything myself on an old camera phone using my own sound equipment, my own lighting. I film it all, I edit it, I create the thumbnails, I come up with the concepts, I post them, and then I try to respond to every single comment that I see and that I get a notification on. At some point, maybe the channel will get too big for me to handle all of that, but I want to keep this a one-man show as much as possible. And in the beginning, the sound quality, the video quality, it was not great. I've had to learn a ton about the editing process, how to film, when to film, all of those things. I've had to kind of hone my skills, so to speak. And if you look at some of the earlier videos, they were really just one-off reviews. I think there was some Sean Clement, there was some Mr. Short Game, there was some Golf Sidekick, there was some George Gankus, but it was just one episode for one little trial run. And I really didn't get my first in-depth review until Jim Venettos came along. Now, the Jim Venettos method review, the long-term review, was my first in-depth long-term review that went across multiple videos for weeks on end. And the way that kind of started was, I think I saw one of Jim's Instagram posts, and I was compelled to message him, and I just wanted to give him a compliment. Honestly, I just wanted to say, hey man, I dig the vibe. I love what you're doing. I think this is fantastic. And that was really all there was behind that message. And he came back and said, hey, that's great. I really appreciate it. How would you like to train using my system? And I said, man, I really appreciate it, but I don't have the money to sign up for a school. At the time, I was just like, I'm not in a position to do that. And he was so gracious that he said, nope, I'll train you for free. You can make your videos. I'll train you as long as you want to be taught. And from there we went. And we had multiple phone conversations, text conversations. I'd send him video. I had access to his website. He is really so good at getting to somebody on a personal level and really getting involved with them. It feels like you're his only student. It really does. And he's so great with that stuff. And I had a massive amount of fun working with him, and it just learned so much. After the in-depth Jim Venettos review, I got into basically a hodgepodge of all kinds of different videos. I started reviewing golf products. I started to talk about the history of golf. I started collecting vintage clubs. I did some course vlogs. I did some strategy work. I did all kinds of videos, and then I got back into doing in-depth reviews. I think I started off with Zen Golf, and then onto the right-sided swing immediately after that, then Sean Clement and his Wisdom in Golf method, and the latest one I did was the single plane swing review. And working with Sean Clement, honestly, he is just amazing. it was such an honor to work with him. He has been producing YouTube content for years. He has been cranking it out, and he's got such great advice. And again, so gracious, so good with his students. Just an amazing golf coach. And I am so privileged to have been able to work with him and Jim and just amazing teachers who don't teach the conventional methods. They don't fall into the conventional wisdom. And really, that's been one of the core values of my channel since day one, is to kick convention to the curb and say there's other ways to do this. I know they're out there, and some of these are so much less confusing than the conventional wisdom in golf. I wanted to expose a lot of people to all of these different things out there that go so far beyond the regular stuff that is just the mainstream being force-fed to us on a daily basis. I get the question often, which is your favorite method? Which one did you have the most success with? Which one did you improve the most with? Which one was the most fun? I can honestly say that I have found relative success with each and everything that I've tried. And why is that? How is that? When all of these swings are so different, how is it that I'm able to find success with each and every one of them? And I've asked myself that question a lot. And for the longest time, I didn't have an answer. But now I think I actually do have a really good response to that question. No matter what method you try, no matter how your body moves, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. At the end of the day, there are so very few have-tos in golf. There are so few must-dos in golf. One of them is that the club needs to move in a pretty circular motion. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It can be a little more oval shaped. It doesn't have to be long and flowing. It can be short, but essentially it's got to be somewhat circular. And it's the club that matters, how the club is moving, because that golf ball has no idea what your body is doing. All it knows is how that club has connected with it at the moment of impact. So you've got to have a circular motion with the club. How your body performs that circular motion is really up to you. Impact. Impact is key. A ball sitting on the ground, the club must contact the golf ball first and then the ground after in a good strike. In any good golf shot, that must happen when the ball is sitting on the turf. And impact, that space 1 foot before impact and 1 foot after impact. That snapshot, if you were to set a camera up and you could have everybody try any method that they wanted to try, and all you filmed was that 2 foot window with the golf ball right in the middle, and it doesn't matter what method you're using. If impact is good in that 2 feet, it's good. And it will look the same no matter what method you use. That snapshot, even 1 foot or 6 inches, 6 inches with the ball in the center, that snapshot or that little piece of video, any method you try, doesn't matter. That impact has to be correct. So it's all about achieving the proper impact more often. And how you do that, again, it is up to you. And the third thing is the person behind the swing. In this case, it was me, but in your case, it's you. You've got to be the right person. And by that, I mean the dedication, the obsession with trying to get it right, to try and be a better golfer, that drive, that never good enough mentality. It's never going to be good enough to constantly try and get better and improve and get impact better. The person swinging the club, that is the third component. That is the third must-have in the golf swing, is the pilot. Guys, there's another thing that has been super consistent over the course of the last 3 years, and it is all of you. People that have been here since day one and people who just subscribed to the channel yesterday. Each and every one of you, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the time that you have spent with me here. You subscribe, you click the bell, you do all the things you're supposed to do to help out the YouTube channel. The likes, the comments, the interaction with each other, the tips you give me, the help you give each other. It is just so crucial to the success of this channel. We are approaching 5,000 subscribers. That's 5,000 people who I could potentially be reaching with these messages, and you could potentially be reaching with your comments and assistance as well. We are a community here. I could not have made it without all of you. I want to thank all of you so much for what you do to contribute to the success of this channel. And in that sense, it's never been a one-man show. I said earlier that I always wanted my filming to be a one-man show as much as possible, but the truth is that it's never been a one-man show. You are my production crew. You are my staff. You are my inspiration and my muse. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have some of you come out and give me the compliments and the comments that you do. It keeps me driving every day, and as long as I am trying to be better today than I was yesterday, that's what it's all about. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, everybody, for the last 3 years, and here's to 300 more.